Shalom. First and foremost, giving all praises, honor, glory, and worship unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Ruchakudash. Double honors unto the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and salutations unto you, Achim, upholding the testimony of Yahweh Shai in truth and in sincerity. I was pondering for a while on what I want to do this lesson on. It's so much going on. It's not that it's a lack. It's just so much going on. So many different topics. It's overstimulating. It's like, what should I choose? You know, like, oh, this, that, Pakistan, India. Oh, this brother just did a lesson on the Russia being the Medes. Oh, prophecy, this, that. And it's just like, yo, take a deep breath. You know, just pop the book open. Grab your precept and just go through the spirit. And that's what I'm going to do. This is Psalms chapter 119. And now this is actually going to be inspired, of course, by what you see here, Psalms 119, but also by Abba Bivens. I was reading his book, Marks of a Lost Race. And on the back of the book, it has a direct quotation from him where he says, where he says at the end, essentially in the direct quotations, it says that control the mind so that the lusts will not consume our bodies. Control the mind so that the lust will not consume our bodies, which is a very profound statement and is biblical. So I'm going to go with Psalms 119. And let's just start with here, and we're going to allow the scriptures just come out how they come. Psalms 119. Excuse me. Psalms chapter 119. All right. And verse 101. It says, I have refrained my feet from every evil way, that I might keep thy word. See, so refraining your feet means not giving in to lust, not giving in to temptation, overcoming trials, because the lust will consume our bodies. Your lust and your desires, specifically the lust of sin, will destroy you. Let's get that Galatians. Yeah, I believe that's Galatians chapter 5 and 16. Yep, it says, this I say then, walk in the spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. Walking in the spirit is abiding by the word of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, sticking to the testimony, walking the straight gate, being honest, being charitable, being loving, being kind, being considerate, exercising the fruits of the spirit, temperance, patience, so on and so forth. And if you do these things, you won't have time or space to fulfill the lust of the flesh, because there will be no vain space. Your conduct will be filled with righteousness, so there's nowhere to turn to be wicked. Pardon me. That's the scripture also speaks about the idle mind and not being idle, because the idle mind teaches wickedness. It says, "For the flesh lusteth against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh, and these are contrary," meaning they're against the one to the other, so that ye cannot do the things that ye would. All right. Dwellers. It's in Romans, start at chapter 7, verse 14. It says, "For we know that the law is spiritual, but I am carnal, sold under sin," meaning we're in the flesh. Verse 15, it says, "For that which I do, I allow not," meaning we'll do certain things that we don't approve of. Excuse me. Because the flesh has a mind of its own. Now, even me yarning, that's a low level of example, but I don't approve of the yarn. But it happens because this carnal flesh. The same with the mindset and certain actions in the world, that we might not necessarily approve of. It might be the Sabbath, and somebody that looks very good walks by you or starts trying to talk to you, and you shouldn't be talking. You shouldn't entertain it. You shouldn't do that. But the point I'm making, you might feel some type of way, like, oh dang, I want to talk to this person, but it's the Sabbath. But you don't actually want to do that. But the flesh wants to do it. The flesh, is desires to do something like that, which you shouldn't be doing according to the law. So that's an example. It says, "For that which I do, I allow not. For what I would, that do I not. But that I hate that I do." Yep, it's the flesh. It make you do certain things that you don't even want to do, have certain thoughts you don't want to have. Now, it's a balance. You have to rule the flesh, but certain things will happen that are not sanctioned by the Spirit. Verse 16, it says, "If then I do that which I would not, I consent unto the law that it is good. Now then, it is no more I that do it, but sin that dwelleth in me." All right? It's the sin. And that's why we need Yahweh Shai. That's the importance of Yahweh Shai, to give us strength over these demons, all right, and over the temptation of this world. Let's get that in Revelations 3 and 10. It says, "Because thou hast kept the word of my patience." So you're having patience. That comes with a level of subjecting the flesh. It says, "I also will keep thee," meaning Yahweh Shai is going to preserve us from the hour of temptation. So it's the Lord that is going to preserve us, not our own selves. It has to be done by the Lord. That's why, pardon me. That's why it's important to be obedient and have patience and long suffering in His truth and trusting in the Lord. And that our temptation is the mandatory implementation of the MOTB. It says, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. Behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown. So we have to cleave unto what we have, what the Lord blessed us with, which is this understanding, this truth, this the proper name, the faith. All that should be abounded rather than diminished. We're supposed to abound in the ministry for the perfecting of the saints. All right? Because that's what this thing of ours is about. So with that, we're going to give our praises, honor, glory, and worship unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Machakodash. Double honors unto the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and salutations unto you, Akim. Shalom, keep the faith.